Don't mind the moving image. You guys are hanging on a tree branch, swaying in the wind. But welcome to McDade Park. As you can see, it's snow covered. It's a winter landscape, plenty of photo opportunities, and I figured it'd be a great time, great location to walk around with my Nikon D5600 paired with my 18 to 140 millimeter lens to see what kind of moments we could capture, and some squirrels getting my attention over there, a literal squirrel moment. So if you're ready, grab your camera and let's capture some moments. Now, photographing snowy environments is beautiful, but can also be tricky. The reason being is because the snow is so bright. Thankfully, today is overcast. If it was sunny out, it'd be even harsher conditions. But when you photograph snowy environments, one or two things could happen, especially when you're photographing on a manual mode. Either the snow is going to be too bright and blown out to match the exposure of the landscape, or the opposite. The snow will be exposed properly and the landscape or the rest of the environment will be too dark. So typically you want to get the conditions as close as you can in the camera, and then during post-editing, tweak it as necessary. So right now, we're going to start off here with just this row of trees. Now the snow is not fresh. It's been down for a few weeks now, so there are tire tracks and footprints. It's not perfect, beautiful blanket of snow, but still a contrast from what we normally see. So we're going to start off with these trees here. I'm going to focus on the first one, recompose it, bring it down a little bit because we do want the snow in here, and we'll try that. Okay, looks a little bit too dark to me. I'm going to raise it up 2 stops. We're going to try that one more time. That looks a little bit better. We're going to go through the snow here. We're going to take this a step further. Using these same trees, we have 1 or 2 shots I could get here as a close-up detailed shot. I could either focus further in the distance and have this part here blurred out, or I could focus on that and have the rest blurred out. I'm going to take both shots. Whatever one I like better is the one that you're going to see. So I do see a possible opportunity here. Now we have the nice straight clear path, and we have the snow on the edges and the white structure around it. So we're going to get down here close to the ground, and we're going to focus in the distance, recompose it, and try that. Not too bad. And I think we can actually recreate this with that individual walking right through it. All right, opportunity presented itself. Not too bad. Now that we're down here in the structure, I'm going to wait for the individual to move out of the way. I'm going to get a nice wide shot from the bottom shooting up. Just going to wait for him to clear. Now, I don't know if I want to do this as portrait or landscape. I think I'm going to try both, see which one looks better. But now he's over there checking his email. Let's have to wait. Okay, I got the portrait one. You know, I think I like the landscape one better. Just gives a wider view. So I'm happy with that. Never hurts to experiment though. Try different compositions, different heights, different levels, different focal lengths. Experiment. You may find a shot that's even better than the one you had in mind. All right, I'm going to try to take a shot here that may or may not work just because I may not have a wide enough lens. It's 18 millimeter on the widest. I would want probably 14 or 16 here. So I'm going to get down on one knee, shoot straight up here at the opening. I'm going to focus on part of it so we have something in focus. And I'm going to recompose this and hopefully get a decent shot. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad. Okay, one more shot here before we move on. Right here at this post, I'm going to put the camera along the side of it here. I'm on the widest angle. I'm going to focus down center and recompose just a little bit. And there we go, kind of peering behind the corner here, looking down the straightaway. I'm liking this tree right here. This tree's got some character. Not only does it have limbs going all different directions, it's got some green lichen on it, but it's also situated a little bit on a hill and has a nice mixed background. So I want to do maybe 1 or 2 shots here of this. I think I'm going to do a wide one to kind of establish what we're looking at. Going to raise exposure a little bit more for that one. Since the tree itself is darker, I have to compensate for that. I see my next possible shot here. We have this bench overlooking the pond. So I'm thinking if we come behind it and have the bench as the focal point, the pond a little bit blurred out, could make for a pretty nice shot. So we're going to zoom this in pretty good, but not too much so that we can't see anything else. So we're going to focus on that. So for the next shot here, I'm going to use nature to my advantage. These trees are providing a natural frame of the pond. So I'm going to compose this so I have both trees on the end, and my main focal point is going to be the center of the pond. That's what I was looking for right there. Nice. I'm already seeing my next shot, and it's going to be courtesy of these cattails, as what I like to call them, nature's corn dogs. So there's 1 or 2 shots I could get. Actually, I'm seeing a few shots here. I could either have it looking through the cattails, focusing on the ice formation, or I could focus on the cattail and have that blurred out. Once again, I'm going to try both shots. Whatever one I like better, you're going to see as the next upcoming shot here. Here we have a nice clear opening. We're going to do a nice wide shot, but instead of having the trees and building in the background, we're going to walk over here and have that wooden structure in the background, which is going to be probably the focal point. But we're going to have the ice build up in front of us here. So let's see, I'm going to try, I think, this way first. Okay, I'm going to do a nice wide shot here. I'm going to raise the aperture so that everything's in focus. I'm just going to focus in the ice though, recompose it so I have a target. And we'll try that. We're going to come off the beaten path here and find a creative shot with this unique looking tree right here. I think I want to get a shot looking through where the two meet, focusing on the other end over there. So I'm going to drop down. We're going to zoom in and focus in the distance and recompose it so that we're looking right through that bend of the trees. Now here's the bridge we were just walking across. I think we could actually make a shot of it here. I'm trying to think how I want to do it. I can either get a nice angled shot, or I can maybe have a shot peering behind a tree like this. Maybe we could try that. So we're going to focus on the bridge, recompose it so we see part of the tree right next to us, and take that. A little too dark. Raise it up a stop. If you couldn't tell, I do like taking shots where there's something in the foreground that you're peering behind. Just makes for a nice creative shot. So we just came from down there. We're now up here at the location of the coal mine tour. And I have photographed this before. I've been here all different times of year. But right now, though, everything is under a blanket of snow. So it's going to offer us plenty of photo opportunities. Simple shot I'm seeing right here are these two drums. It has like spokes in the wheels. Even though they're not wheels, they're drums for cables. Those look pretty neat with the holes and the shape of them. So we're going to get a shot of that looking past this piece of equipment here. So we're going to focus on the drums, recompose, so we're looking behind this equipment. Try that. I can already tell through the image review that either that's going to be too dark or snow's going to be too bright. So I have to pick the lesser of two evils and go with the exposure of the drum, and the snow's going to be brighter than normal. There's nothing you could do with it during these conditions, like I mentioned. We could possibly get a pretty neat shot here between both sets of coal cars. If I kneel down and zoom in and focus on the tipple up there, be like we're peering between the cars at that. All right, next shot's right in front of me. You got this crane here. I believe it's a Bucyrus. It's got some snow cover on it, some rust, nice color contrast, and we have the coal car here with snow right in front of us. So I want to focus on that and have the snow as our foreground right here. So another peering over shot. So just calling my name today for some reason. And we'll give this piece a photo by itself here. Gonna make this one be a little bit darker, so I'm gonna lower the exposure, fill in the frame a little bit more. So now we can actually get even more creative with some focal lengths. We got the arm and bucket here and the cab up there. So we could do a couple things. We could either have a shot between the pulleys here or a shot looking over the cable. I'm going to experiment and you'll see the final image. Now the next shot you know that's coming is going to be the tipple and the machine here. So I want to get down low. I want to have both items in focus. So I'm going to raise the aperture a little bit. Recompose it. And that looks pretty good, I think. Here we're going to do a color pop of either blue or yellow or both. But here we have the dump truck beneath the tipple. And that should allow for a nice color pop. Snow-covered D8 dozer. Minus the cat cover. I'm gonna do a shot of this by itself and then a shot with the truck behind it. Snow's pretty deep here too. So let's focus on the front. Gonna bring down my aperture. Recompose that. Very nice steel beast there, sitting silent in the snow. So now I want the truck to be the focal point. So we're gonna focus on the truck. Recompose. Excellent. We're gonna do one more shot here. This time we're gonna focus on the big cog gear on the back and recompose, have the truck in the background. So let's see if we could frame this up. A little too dark. Let's try it one more time. Really having to boost the exposure levels here. That right there is what I was looking for. And now I'm gonna get even more creative. I'm gonna literally kneel in the snow, as you can see. I'm gonna get down snow level and we're going to get a shot of this truck just above the snow. And sometimes that's what's required to get the shot. I think we're gonna do a photo pop of the truck. It's a nice, bright, vibrant blue. And let's get one final shot of our old Mac. Down here in the corner, Let's see, we're gonna go that way. I'm gonna do both portrait and landscape. It's been extremely windy here, so I did take a few shots off camera because you wouldn't be able to hear me talking. It got really gusty. So I'm gonna show you those, plus my MFS OTD, my favorite shots of the day. Of course, the wind dies down now. Like I said, overcast, it helped. Sun could help, could hurt. But with how bright it is with the snow, the camera thinks that the whole image is too bright. So it wants to basically underexpose everything. So I was shooting on aperture priority, which allows me to control the depth of field, the focal length, and everything like that. I need to override the camera and tell it to make it brighter than what it thinks. So I actually had to shoot with exposure levels 5 to 7 stops higher than normal to compensate for the brightness of the snow. Otherwise, if I shot it with what the camera thinks, snow would be perfectly exposed. Everything else would be like a silhouette or a shadow. It'd be way too dark. So I had to think outside the box, do some experiments and some testing to get the right exposure levels. Definitely not perfect, and it's hard to get perfect shots in these conditions, but I think we got as close as we can based on the environment. Now, ideally, I'd like to come to an environment like this or a place like this when the snow first falls, where everything is covered in snow, like the tree branches, the limbs, especially the pines. That would make for some incredible photo opportunities. The problem is, though, is that when that happened, we experienced Arctic-like temperatures, sub-zero wind chills for a few weeks straight, and it was just way too cold to come out and shoot. So I had to wait until it went above freezing, which is today. Even though it's flurrying out and windy, it's not too bad out compared to what we had. So if we do get another snowfall and the snow is clinging to the branches and trees and other items, maybe we'll come out and do another location of a winter landscape snowy scene photo walk, partially based on your feedback. But by all means, let me know what your favorite photos were down below. And if you are intimidated to go out and shoot in conditions like this, whether it be on your phone or camera like this, just put it to auto. The camera will do its best job to expose everything properly. But if you do want to get creative and learn how to shoot manual mode, get out like I did, get creative, adjust your exposure levels, adjust your focal length, and capture some moments. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you behind the camera real soon.